Hey, good morning, everyone. Today is September 1st, 2025. It is a Monday. Can't believe we're already in September, dude. This year has gone by so fast. It's insane. I gotta write down some goals on envelope. So, goals for the day, brush teeth, morning video log, make some recovery video logs. I need to switch out the receipt envelope. And then I work at 4. That work. 4. And then other than that, so I woke up at 10 o'clock today and have just been playing Schedule 1. And then Ava was watching the end of Haunting of Hill House. So I watched that with her and it was pretty good. And yeah, Schedule 1 had the update, and so I've been playing it, seeing it around. It's been very, very interesting so far. So my glasses are a little dark. Yeah, that's pretty much been a whole day, honestly. I went outside and picked some vegetables in the garden. I picked 2 big tomatoes. One was the victim of splitting, which sucks, but whatever. And then I picked like a bunch of little small tomatoes that were pretty cool. Then there was a zucchini that's growing in really nicely, and then the peppers that are growing in are looking just fine. The green beans are super, super thick. They'll be great for next year. That's pretty much it, honestly. I'm like thinking. Tomorrow's trash day. So that'll be cool. I think it's also a day off this week. And then my brother's wedding is this weekend. And then only other thing I need to do is make some recovery video logs. Yeah, I still have tomorrow off, so that's super awesome. That'll be super sick. Yeah, yesterday I recorded a YouTube short made. It was a K-pop Demon Hunter short. It's at 1,400 views. It's actually pretty cool. How many likes? 7. Being a shorts YouTuber does not sound fun, bro. But yeah, I think it's my second most viewed video already, and it's like it's so clear to me. There's so many things on YouTube where it's like I'll upload one video and it'll do really, really well, and it's so obvious that it's like, how do you say, like a cheat code for printing money? Like people who make like daily YouTube shorts about Minecraft or K-pop Demon Hunters or I hate to say Donald Trump, but like politics, stuff like that. Like that has got to just be printing money in my mind. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna make some recovery video logs and then I'll be off to work. So I will see y'all tonight. Peace.
One eternity later.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Today will be a video log for Monday, September 1st, 2025. All the goals for the day were to brush teeth, make a morning video log, make recovery video logs, finish up my receipts envelope for August, work at 4, and do some push-ups. All of them were completed. That was pretty cool. I just didn't make an evening video log because I was tired after work. And at work wasn't anything special. The only important parts of work were literally talking about my brother's wedding this upcoming weekend and just how excited we are for it. It's gonna be great, bro. I'm so hyped for it. And yeah, there was nothing going on. I played Schedule 1 today, checked the garden, watched Haunting of Hill House, and I haven't watched Haunting of Hill House in years, dude. I'm pretty sure I remember watching Haunting of Hill House in high school. And so as we're watching it, I'm saying certain things that I know tie into the story, and Anna's sitting there going, okay, that's kind of a weird thing to say. And after we finished it, she was like, now that I know, you were sitting there telling me spoilers the whole time. Of course I was. I'm one of those person who enjoys spoilers. I enjoy the story more after it gets spoiled for me. I enjoy that. Once I know the ending, I thoroughly enjoy the story more. Because I can see the little things that are foreshadowing the end goal, right? I really like that. But speaking of that kind of foreshadowing, I've been reading a lot of Dune recently. Reading Chapter House of Dune now, which is such a good book. Such a good book. And it talks a lot about consciousness. So the Bene Gesserit are really conscious of everything they do, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So they kind of have this intensely powerful high level of consciousness as far as they don't really view themselves as selves. Like, they kind of view everything in the world as a play, and they're just like acting the way they want the play to be going. And so it's like this, like, they're in a situation where they're speaking to someone. Every single thing they do is like consciously calculated. And so I'm sitting here thinking about that. The only way I could think about tying that into like the political world we live in now is through the sense of identity. And people have really strong senses of identity. You will know what I'm talking about, even if you don't know what I'm talking about, is if you have like an older grandfather who's literally just like, those gosh darn Democrats and liberals. Or if you have a cousin, like an alternative cousin who's literally just like, I cannot stand old Republican stubborn assholes. Or if you have a like libertarian, is it called libertarian? Liberty. Yeah, libertarian cousin who's literally just like, I don't know why the government just doesn't let us do whatever we want. Or if you have an anarchist who's literally just like, bro, be yourself. Like, those are parts of their identity, right? And it's literally just like, when they see things that are not part of their identity, they will group those things in with groups they don't view as part of their identity. So my Republican grandfathers, every time something disagrees, he goes, those liberals, you Democrats. And I'm literally just sitting there like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not particularly democratic. Like, when you look at the Democratic Party policies, like what they actually want, I believe in a democracy. Democracy makes sense. That makes perfect sense. When you look at what the Democratic Party pushes for, I don't particularly agree that we should have higher taxes and higher spending. I believe we should have a relatively moderate tax burden and run a surplus when we need to. That's basic economic theory. Very, very basic. And Republicans are terrible at economic theory, but they talk like they're good at it. And it's that identity, like, we are the ones who are cutting spending. We are the ones who are trying to get everything in order. It's not just about cutting spending, it's about increasing revenue. Like, you can't sit there and take less hours at your job and then stop going out to Burger King and being like, yeah, I'll run a budget surplus this year. Just not how it works, man. Like, look at the numbers. We can see them. We're not stupid. Like, what are we talking about, right? And so it's this, like, when your consciousness is tied to your identity. My identity is not solid. And I say that, like, I'm very assured of myself. I'm very confident in myself. I know where I'm going and I know what I'm trying to do. I am temporary. Who I am right now is temporary. I am not permanent. That's just it. There is nothing more temporary than me. I'm going to change in the next 10 minutes because I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to change, dude. I'm going to change. Like, I'm going to experience something and it's going to be profound and it's going to change me on some level, right? I'm never going to be the same person twice. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. I will either get better or I will get worse. There is no in between. And so for people to have such, like, solidly stubborn identities, truthfully, just proves to me that there is a lower level of consciousness there. That, or I should say, there's a level of consciousness that is stifled. They're not experiencing the world on that level of consciousness, even if they have access to it. Like, they're not sitting there evaluating their own actions and understanding that their thought process is actually logically fallical. Is it called fallical? I'm pretty sure that's the word you use to describe a genital member. But it's a logical fallacy. Like, the thinking process they have is a logical fallacy. But we don't look into it enough on our own actions to realize what we have based our identity in is not correct. Like, it's not real or right or true, right? And so it's crazy that I can sit here and, like, see people I look up to have a really, really solidly incorrect sense of identity. And through talking with my grandfather, because he's a great example of this, while we were talking,
He was giving me ideas of things he believed would be better for society. One of the things he recommended was everyone should pay 5% on taxes. If you make more than 50 grand a year, you should pay 10%. If you make more than 150 grand, 15%. And I'm sitting going, yeah, Grandpa, a progressive tax rate. The moment that I said progressive, he flipped instantly. Because the word progressive doesn't align with his self-identity. Even though all I did was label what he said was a good idea. And I went, you're talking about this. And he goes, don't even, no, that's bad actually. That to me is indoctrination. Like, that is indoctrination. If I'm sitting here, like, this is going to be a relatively, like, relevant example. If I'm sitting here going and telling someone, oh yeah, no, they don't feel comfortable in their skin. They get really anxious looking at their own body. They feel very, very bad about being a man. They feel like societally pressured that they should be a man, but they don't align with that. They go, oh, I feel that too. Like, when I look at my body, I feel disgusted sometimes. Like, that's totally fine. And then I go, yeah, they're transgender. They view themselves as a girl. Oh, like, that's actually not okay. What? Like, it's the same thing. Your identity affects how you think about things. So I can sit here and tell you all the symptoms of whatever I'm talking about, and you can go, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. No, I get overstimulated too. I have anxiety. I struggle to make eye contact. Yeah, those are symptoms of autism. Oh, but I'm not autistic. Yeah, you don't identify as it. Your identity, your self-image is not autistic. But you have every single symptom. So when I tell you all these things and you go, oh yeah, me too, me too, me too. Oh, but not that. No, I believe that poor people should pay less in taxes and richer people should pay higher taxes. But don't call it progressive tax system. You say progressive? Whoa. Don't... Like, they freeze up. And it's like the sense of identity is tied to terms. And so it's like, I don't identify with a party. I'm really nonpartisan. I believe currently that the Republican Party ideals would be best. We should have lower taxes on poor people. We should have immigration reform. We should have less government spending. That's common sense. Like, that's how you would balance a budget, but it's not what Republicans do. So for me to say I'm a Republican, I'm truly Republican. I believe in those ideals. I think they'd be good. But the other members of the Republican Party aren't putting those in. They're putting in very socialist ideals. They're cutting taxes for the wealthiest individuals. They're buffering and supporting a private militia police force specifically targeting deportations. It's just absurd. It's just absurd. There's no reason that a real Republican would actually want these things. But since they're using the terms that Republicans associate with their personal identity, they're able to garner support and votes. Which is insane. Because the second someone goes, hey man, maybe we should charge rich people more because the money they make extra doesn't go anywhere except stocks, whatever. Like, they should pay more. A poor person will go, yeah, they could pay a little more. And then someone goes, you believe in progressive taxes? Progressive? Not me. I am not progressive. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. That is an insane way of thinking. And I had another example with my grandpa, and I was trying to think about this, but I just kept yapping about progressive tax. And it's literally like, I don't know how to express. It is so easy to talk about what the actual thing that needs done is. Once you call it what it is, people's identities are threatened. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Christians in America believe they have to back Israel because the government deserves to have a place to live. Like, they deserve, a right to exist or whatever. I don't give a about the Middle East. I truthfully don't. I could not possibly care less about what's going on in the Middle East because America has our own issues. We need to get out of the Middle East. Why are we still in the Middle East? I'm sure it'll make more sense when I'm president. I'm sure there's a reason. I won't say a good reason. I'm sure there's a reason. But we're literally, our taxpayer dollars are going to support a genocide. And it's not even like it's a genocide in your opinion. No, it is. And I'm sick of people sitting here trying to argue that it's not. And it's to a point that it's like, even if you talk about the horrors of October 7th, the reaction is so overpowering and overwhelming, it doesn't justify it. The reaction isn't justified. If a man came up and hit you with a fly swatter, you wouldn't shoot him in the face 6 times. It's a fly swatter. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, he took some of your skin cells with him, dude. You wouldn't shoot him in the face 6 times and burn his family. You wouldn't do that. Like, that's not human, right? That kind of retaliation is unnecessary. You wouldn't blow up his house. Like, you wouldn't do that. And I'm not sitting here trying to undermine October 7th and go, it was just a fly swatter hit. It wasn't. In the scope of a country, it wasn't that many people. It truthfully wasn't. They didn't need to have that kind of reaction. And it's insane that people are defending it, but it's because it's tied in to their identity. They believe in God. They believe that they believe in God. They believe that God is allowing this to occur, so we have to support God's actions. That is a logical fallacy. That is a logical fallacy. It doesn't make any damn sense. Anyone with a shred of ability to critically think can clearly see doesn't make any damn sense. And I'm so annoyed of the lack of consciousness of people doing their own independent research and being willing to change the way their identity is shaped to be a better person. That's the whole goal of being alive, is to be a better person. There will never be a day in my life where I sit there and go, I'm the best I will ever be. I can never get better. Who I am right now is who I will always be for now and forever. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's impossible. Because something will happen and I will have to change my opinion and adapt. That's being human. So, yeah, I've rambled enough. Be willing to observe your own actions and adjust your identity as necessary. It's part of adapting. Just being a person. So, yeah. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Monday, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.